to our question 3 answer. The question for this is, what have you learned from our audience feedback? We've conducted several audience feedback videos, and our results are as followed. So I'm going to start off with just telling you about our attendance audience in the first place. So we intended to aim to an audience of about 16 to 40 years old, and appeal to quite a mass genre, a mass audience, because of the genre. I feel like a lot of people like the indie genre, and it's not a very niche genre. It's one that everyone can dip in and out of. Of course, you have the cult followings of it who go to the gigs, etc. But for the music video, we just wanted to appeal to a mass audience within the 16 to 40 years old age group.
Yeah. Another thing we were looking at with our intended audience is we wanted to focus on people who actually like watching music videos, and the people that like to view the music videos more than one time. So they might watch it once, but then think, "Oh, I want to watch that again." That's what we're trying to go for. And another thing was that we wanted people to kind of search for the meaning in our music video, and we thought with our intended audience, that's what they would kind of do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fans of the indie genre will most likely like our music video because of the comedic effect it has to the audience.
Yeah, exactly. So adding on to that, we were kind of aiming for an active audience, like Fred said, because of the comedic effect of our video. There's a lot of the humour within our video is due to the lyrical assimilation. So when you're hearing the lyrics and it's happening on the screen, it's quite funny, because often the lyrics in a song aren't going to come true, but we kind of make them come true within this. So we think that's a reason why it makes it funny, but the audience has kind of got to be active to watch it, listen, and actually receive it and laugh. So that's the
and
premise
I think,
of our audience.
just with that, with our active audience, I think there's multiple examples in our music video where there are a link between lyrics and visuals. I think that's because that's something we were focusing on. So I thought, well, I personally think we executed that very well, and having conducted our audience feedback, a lot of people commented on how well we'd done that. So that was pleasing.
Yeah, just an example of that might be if you've seen the music video, there's a cake scene where someone gets a cake to the face, and there's wedding cake within the lyrics. So we just try and get subtle things like that.
So the second point we're going to talk about in this question is, what did we learn from audience feedback? Now, as a group, we conducted an audience task on our first draft, in which we showed obviously our first draft to some external students. These obviously were people who had not studied media and therefore had not witnessed what we've been researching, planning, stuff like that. And after showing them our video and receiving some constructive criticism, we found that there were certain elements that the target audience didn't really like. So, for example, they thought the titling we used, where we had the white background in the first draft, didn't really fit with the genre of music. Also, the pacing in the introduction was a bit off, and also some of the students didn't like the split screen element that we'd added in. So that was something for us to think about, and I'll pass it on to Fred to talk about what we did with this.
So we corrected these in our final cut, and we gained positive feedback for doing this.
Yeah. So everyone seemed to enjoy it, and the feedback it seemed to have worked better. So
I think the main thing from that was it was pleasing for us to know that we'd gone away and made these changes, and people noticed them and thought it made our music video better.
It's good to know that the first draft was a first draft, and that the final cut is better, and that we've actually improved upon it. So that's a good peace of mind for us anyway. We also learned from the audience feedback that our music video conforms to the indie genre. Most of the interviewees said that they thought if they were to listen to that song, they'd expect a video similar to ours, which is good to know that we've kind of seen in our heads what the video could be like, and we've actually managed to orchestrate that and produce this video. So that was good feedback. So we're just going to play some quotes now that we got regarding the video, and then we'll discuss those.
Yeah, I thought it was very good, fitted the comedy aspect of it all, found it quite funny. For example, like the outfits they're wearing in the band scene is very indie. I'd agree with that. It's very funny, and you can also sort of follow the story along, and it keeps you interested in it.
Would you watch the video again rather than just listen to the song? I'll go with you.
Well, definitely, but it depends on what sort of time you'd have.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, if you want to go, you'd listen to it, but you might not watch it.
Mhm.
But I think it definitely fits the song, so yeah, I watch it. It's a different take on it.
Okay.
So having seen the quotes from our audience feedback, we're now just going to discuss some of the feedback that we got from our audience members and talk about how it helped with our production and how it made our music video better. So Fred, which one did you pick up on?
We're pleased that they found our music video funny because that was our initial intention of the music video.
Yeah, so I think we're all pretty happy with the audience feedback and that they've actually viewed it in the same way that we intended for them to. Another positive thing, Dan.
I think one of the most positive things for me personally was that our audience members said they would happily view the music video again because for us we wanted to create something that was fun but would also be taken seriously. So the fact that they found it funny, like Fred said, but then also said they would view it again, kind of shows towards the hard work we put in has paid off.
Yeah, 100% agree. So a key thing that I picked up from the audience feedback was that they said the storyline was easy to follow, which was good because we really followed a narrative throughout our video, which is something that's becoming quite new and trendy within the indie genre, but usually it used to be just band scenes and stuff like that. So the fact that we've managed to conform to the new conventions of the indie genre and show a narrative that people understood and followed throughout was really good.
And I think in terms of that, you could also argue that we've kind of challenged it as well because like you said, in many indie music videos, there's not a clear narrative. Whereas I feel in ours, there was a clear narrative that could be followed.
Yeah, so
I think we both conform to and challenge it.
So we're moving forward with the genre,
definitely.
kind of redefining it, which is the slogan of Feather and Moss, to redefine the music industry.
Yeah.
So it's all good. So now I just want to talk about the second audience test that we conducted, in which we asked a group of students whether they thought the three products fitted well together and how they worked. So that was the music video, the CD cover and pack, and then the website. So the main project and then the ancillary tasks and how they fitted together. So we're going to play a few quotes and then we're going to discuss what we thought about the feedback afterwards.
I've noticed patterns throughout all three, and they include images of the same band members, and they're all within the same, like they're in black and white as well, which are featured in the video. So that's a good link there. That shows that it's continuity. Thank you.
I think the font in both the video, the CD case and the website is all the same, which kind of gives a continuity between them all. It also gives a brand, so that font you associate with the music and with the video and stuff.
I'll say there's an element of like entertainment across all the things.
So having seen those quotes from some of our audience members, we're now just going to discuss some of the key comments that were made throughout that task. So one pleasing aspect for me and the rest of the group was that our audience members commented on the high levels of continuity throughout the three products. So for example, they talked about how the same images of the band were used in all three. So for example, in our music video, in the band scene, you can see the band members wearing their clothing or their instruments. For example, in the website, you can see the same images used with their instruments, and further in the CD pack, we've incorporated the same images. However, we just changed the colour of them just to mix it up a bit. So the fact that they picked up on the levels of continuity was pleasing because that was something we tried to focus on. So.
Another key comment that you'll have heard was someone said the font used throughout helped to create a brand, which I personally thought was a really good thing for someone to say, because if you noticed, within the music video it says The Underdog by Feather and Wasp in the same font that's on the front of the CD cover with all the titles on the website. So that shows that we've kind of got something that people can associate with the band and with the music video throughout all three. And they look at that font and maybe think, oh yeah, Feather and Wasp from
Yeah.
the music video. So when you create a brand really early on, just through 3 products, it's something that a real band would actually want to do and get out there. So
100%.
I think that's really good. And then Fred, just
There's an element of entertainment throughout our media products. That's including some funny scenes in the music video and also some quite entertaining pictures within the website and the CD packet.
yeah. I think the bright colours within the CD pack as well kind of adds to that, because we're kind of trying to go with quite fun pastel colours
Yeah.
throughout and kind of keep that theme throughout.
I think as well, just linking with that, the main aim for us was to create entertaining products, whether that be a music video, website, CD pack. That was our main aim, weren't it?
Mhm.
We wanted it to be professional, but as a group we set out for the like a fun and like entertaining element, and I personally think we did that very well.
Mhm.
And like you said, it was pleasing to get the feedback of that they picked up on this.
Yeah, most definitely. So some improvements that we got from that feedback video, that some we went on to change and some we didn't. So Dan, if you just want to talk about these.
Yeah, so one of the main improvements that we got was that one of our audience members like kind of asked the question of why there was only one member of the band on the front of the CD cover, and that was a very good question, because as a group we decided that Fred was going to be the main man of the band. By doing this we kind of followed the conventions of the Arctic Monkeys, as on their CDs and in their music videos, in fact, they don't really include the band members. They usually just get actors and other people to take part. So we decided that we'd try and follow this by only using Fred, because, like I said, he was considered the main man of the band, and therefore we thought it would be unique and different to just only use one member instead of the full band. However, in the CD booklet we did include pictures of all of the band together, so we weren't deviating from the band itself. However, we just wanted to create our own unique spin on the front of the
Yeah,
band.
and just adding to that, the way that we depict Fred on the front of the CD covers, not as if he's so much of a star. He's got his face painted and everything. It's not so much focusing on him, it's focusing on the way he's been dressed up and the way he's being shown. So I think we do kind of link to the Arctic Monkeys in the fact that we're not conforming to Dyer's star theory and trying to depict,
we're not trying to represent Fred or any of the band members
as a
as stars, like mentioned.
and then just a final improvement that they said within the website, there's not really a variety of pictures. A lot of them are taken from that one day where we filmed, which is a very good criticism. And we've taken some more pictures, and hopefully we're going to get those onto the website to make sure we have a more rounded production. It doesn't look like we've just done this one thing, this one shoot, so it looks like the band's got a bit more history behind it. But I think the improvements were very valid suggestions.
Yeah, I think this audience task was very important, because we kind of got their view on some of the other products, like they talked about the CD pack, the website, and also music video. So it was good for us to kind of just find out what they thought of the link between the three. So yeah, definitely.
That's all for this point. Yeah.
This one done as well, yeah.
So, welcome back. We're just going to cover some more topics in regard to the question 3 of what we learned from our audience feedback. So, first of all, I want to talk about Bulmer and Katz and their uses and gratification theory. And essentially, that is why people use the media and what they seek to gain from media products and how they satisfy their needs from it. And within our text, I think there's a clear meaning that people will be seeking from it, and that's the humour within. Because within all 3 products, the CD cover, website and music video, there's definite areas of humour, especially in the video. In my opinion, I think that's hilarious, but I made the jokes in it along with these 2, so I'm gonna think that. But like the pie in the face, the water bottles, the camera being stolen at the end, I think these are all subtle bits of humour that may encourage someone to re-watch the video and seek that that will seek laughter from it, and consequently enjoy our media text. So I think our video really does conform to Pullman Cat's uses and
I think
classification theory.
leading on to what you're saying, I think the idea around it is the idea of escapism, so getting away from like everyday life. And I think within our media products, like you said, the use of humour allows people to forget what's happening and just enjoy the products that were created. So.
Exactly, yeah.
So now we're going to discuss dire star theory. So essentially the theory suggests that within the music industry, many artists are represented as stars. That through that be the use of advertising, how they are in the music videos. There's a variety of ways that this can be done. Now in our 3 products that we've created, I think we both challenge you and conform this, and I'm going to talk about why this is, because within our music video, I don't believe we represent the band as stars, because we got an actor to play in the main role, therefore taking the limelight away from the band essentially. So I think that was good, because like we've put in many of our research and planning tasks, that the idea for us was to represent our band as just simple musicians. There's no hidden meaning behind them. There's no expectation to be classed as stars. So I think in terms of music video, we represented that really well. I guess it could be an argument, the fact that we have the band, and it could be argued to represent them as stars, but essentially I think the fact that they're not the main part of the narrative like distinguishes this fact, so that was brilliant. In terms of our CD pack, I think this is more of a challenging one. Now, it could be argued that we conform to the idea of stardom, because there's only one person present on the front and back of our CD cover, so I think it very much could be argued that this person, in our case Fred, is represented as a star, because, well, the question is, why aren't the other 2 members on the front cover? But having discussed this, we don't see this to be a problem, because in like previously said, in our music video there is a main actor playing the role, so I think we both challenge and conform to it in that sense.
Also on that point, I think with one person being on front of the CD cover, it could link to dire star theory, but the way that we present him on the cover, like I think we've mentioned previously, how he's got face paint on and feathers on his face, it's not showing him so much, it's showing the way he's represented, and he's kind of dressed up to depict this certain picture they wanted to portray. It's not, oh look, there's a star, we need to buy the album because of him. So I feel like we do kind of conform and challenge it in a few ways there.
And just finally, in terms of the website, I think we mainly challenge it in this sense, because although there are pictures of the band present on the website, I don't believe they're represented them as stars, because we included some images where they're wearing the same clothes as when they were busking, so I think the link between those 2 is high enough to get away from the fact of classing them as stars in that sense. So
yeah, for sure.
That was pleasing for us. So now we're going to discuss Hall's reception theory, and I'm just going to pass it over to Fred to briefly describe what the theory is, essentially.
Different audience members view the text in different ways, such as dominant, negotiated, and oppositional.
So we're going to talk you through our dominant meaning of the text. So this is the way that as producers we wanted the audience to receive our text.
Yeah.
So essentially we wanted to show the band to be the underdogs of the music industry, who are challenging the big artists and striving to succeed within the business. And therefore within the video they're busking and they're trying to break through, and eventually they get money and tips, and it's almost them succeeding as buskers. So we really wanted to show the underdogs of the music industry rising up and being successful in the end. And that also links well with the song title, The Underdog.
Yeah.
So Dan, if you just want to discuss the negotiated...
Essentially the negotiated meaning suggests that there's almost a compromise between oppositional and dominant. So for us, I believe our negotiated meaning is that the audience members will see the band as the underdogs. However, there might be a belief for them that they aren't really taking it seriously due to their outfit choices, the instruments they're playing, and just how they're acting. I mean, although the audience members might like said, they might see the band as the underdog. I think there could be a belief that they're not really taking it seriously. Could be doing.
Yeah, yeah. And then finally, the oppositional meaning. So this is when the audience completely rejects the meaning that the producer given out and comes up with a different one. So some people may see the video as kind of a mockery of the music video and like a lack of respect from the underdogs to those who succeed, almost saying like, oh, they don't deserve it in some respect, which it could be perceived like that, but I think that's very unlikely due to the tones that we try and be positive throughout our music video. So
yeah, I just think with that, I think although that is an option for the audience members to believe that, like I said, I don't really think that'll be the case, because the main people that will be watching our music video are kind of people who will enjoy like comedic takes on music videos and other products. So I don't think that would be a problem within ours. So.
No, me neither. So finally, we're just going to discuss Dig Hebditch and his theory of subcultures. Essentially, Dig Hebditch says that within the music industry, each genre kind of creates its own subculture. And I think within our video, it's quite, in some respects, we do display the subculture of the indie genre. So ways that we do that is the costume. I think we depict all the band members, at least, in quite indie ways. They're not wearing usual clothing. It's quite quirky. It's a bit joking with their clothing. It's a bit ridiculous, but still, I think it does conform to the indie costume. And then furthermore, I think busking is a very indie way of coming up onto the music industry. I mean, you'll often see people singing indie songs when they're busking. You're not often seeing rap or punk rock on the streets. It's one of those where it's indie rock kind of conforms to a mass audience, therefore it's much better suited to busking. So I think within our music video we do conform to the genre of indie rock.
Yeah.
Kind of show a bit of Dig Hebditch's theory of subcultures
Definitely.
within. Any more you'd like to add?
I mean, I think like you said, I mean, our main genre, I would say, is indie. However, I think we have conformed to the indie rock subculture because, like you said, many of the aspects in our music video, in our CD pack and our website could be argued to come under this specific subculture. So I think the fact that we've conformed to Hebditch's theory shows that we've kind of taken an understanding of how cultures are important in the music industry, and the fact that some people do look for specifics when they're searching for subcultures. And I think
because cults are created within the music industry. Like, I mean, like the punk rock is such a subculture that people they dress in a certain way, they follow it in a certain way.
And I think what's happening now is that these so-called small subcultures are getting bigger to the point where they're almost their own genre.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we've taken into account within our media products.
So that's all we've got for today. Thank you for listening to our question 3. Any further comments from you guys?
Well, just in terms of our audience, I think overall the audience feedback and the audience work we put into our media products really helped us when it came to our productions, because for a variety of reasons that we've spoken about, if we didn't have the constructive criticism that people gave us, I don't believe our products would be to the high standard that we believe they are. So I think in anything it's crucial to get good products, and I think that's what we've done. So
yeah, for sure. So thank you for watching, like I said, and cool.